Look at that, we're live. Let's see what it looks like on the screen. Here we go. Why does it look so blurry? Got enough light in here. I hate this webcam. All right, let's get the screen set up, see who comes in here. There we go. Morning, folks. Why am I? Oh, there it is. It's working. Let's see if anybody comes in here. Got me watching. See if anybody's awake. Surprise morning stream. Since nobody else is going to go live, I figured I would. No, nothing going on. Facebook is starting to be dead. Whose coffee's hot? Hey, Ernie, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? I figured I thought Buggy'd be live since it was Monday, but I think he's taking a break. Understandable. Just figure I'd go live, see who pops in here. I'm going fishing tonight. I was, Ernie, I got the boat ready to go. Loaded up even the cooler, the whole thing. And I'm like, do I want to fish during the day or do I want to get some flatheads while flathead season's here? So I think I'm just going to go tonight. So I figured I was up. Nobody was live. Figure I'd go live and see what happens. Having breakfast, deer gravy over toast. Man, anything over toast is good. I got some extra large or jumbo eggs, man. I love me some eggs. Bigger the better. I'll have some of them in a little while. I got some biscuits, like the canned biscuits in the fridge, but I'm gonna save them for when the wife's home. She should be up here soon or awake here soon. But yeah, like I said, I got the boat all ready to go already, and I'm like, do I want to fish for channel cat or walleye, or do I want to fish for flathead? And I'm looking at the weather. The weather looks nice tonight. Let me see. It's 63 right now, which is nice. It's going to be overcast all day. So, I mean, fishing would be pretty good. But if I want to go live and fulfill my, I want to go get me some flathead tonight. Probably, I'll go live probably at 8 o'clock right after Catfish Weekly. So, that'll work, buddies. That'll work. Buggy said he was done with it. But you never know. Yeah, you don't know. It is what it is. Man, my internet is. I'm streaming at 1080p. Am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen. I'm moving, and it kind of brings my internet to a halt in the house. Let me see if I can get. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at the weather. See what the weather's going to be tonight. And my phone ain't even loading. You know what? I'm going to change to 780p. I don't think it makes that big a difference. camera, or 720. We'll switch it to 720. There we go, 720. I don't need high def for this. Let me see if that made a difference on the internet. I got real high speed. You see, it did. It made a huge difference. I got really fast speed here at home, like 2 gigabit download. Upload's pretty fast. I don't know why it's giving me trouble. Well, we got 3 people in here. Somebody else joined in. Good morning, whoever you are. Figure I'd go live for a little bit, see who comes in, see who's awake. If nobody comes, if not too many people come in, I'll just end it. I mean, that's why I got this channel, so I could just do stuff like this. So, well, the second channel. I don't want to do this on my other channel, mess up the algorithm and stuff. Granted, I'm not really doing YouTube that much, but still, I want it to stay there, if you know what I mean. Hold on a second here. Fun using the cough button. So yeah, we got 3 people. I don't know who else is in here. Probably Uncle Lou or J Doggy. J Dog doesn't chat anymore. Ernie, we'll give it 10 or 15 minutes and we'll see who comes in. So how's the garden going, Ernie? I've seen a bunch of posts from you on here. It looks like you're getting a lot of good stuff. Betty Jean and Brandon, their garden is booming with stuff. She keeps sending me pictures. I'm kind of jealous, ain't gonna lie. Not really jealous, envious. I'm happy for her, obviously. I'm happy for all you guys. 100%. Hey, what's going on, Dustin? How you doing, bud? Good morning. Yeah, I figured I'd go live. No buggy or anything, so gonna go fishing tonight. Well, actually, I was just telling Ernie, I'll probably say this a bunch of times. I was going to go fishing this morning. I got the boat like ready to go, even packed a cooler. I got the double coffee ready to go. I always take this with me when I go fishing. And I'm like, well, do I want to fish for walleye and channel cats, walleye and or channel cats, or do I want to fish for flathead? And I'm thinking, might as well fish for flathead while flathead fishing's good. I'll have, I'll go after walleye after flatheads are done, and then channel cats, and later on in the year when they're stacked up. I'd like to go for a live or do a live in like December. We'll see. I'm gonna try and get my knee done, so we'll see where I'm at during the time. But fishing in like late November, early December to channel cat fishing is ridiculous. I've caught like 50 in like 3 hours. It's with a buddy of mine. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's fun. And then, of course, while I like colder weather, I could troll the weed lines in the river. To say that would be productive, I wouldn't know. Just meaning, who knows? Hopefully you got everything worked out on Saturday night. I just kind of stopped in. I went live on or Lyle and Josh asked me if I wanted to come up on their live when I came back. So I came on there, and good I did, because Lyle had to step off. So I helped Josh finish it up, his live stream. That's when I came into everybody's stream just to say good morning or good evening. Bugman, there he is. What's up, buddy? Oh, wait a minute. Ernie, and I need to make you guys moderators. I was wondering if you were going to come in, bud. Moderator. There you go, Ernie. There you go, Dustin. It is moderator. Look at that. All right, you guys are set. Yeah, Saturday night Saturday nights have been nuts. Yeah, I thought about going fishing on a Saturday night, especially like last Saturday. It probably wouldn't have been bad, but I kind of like give my weekends to my wife, and during the week I got to do stuff for mom. Every other weekend she's here. I mean, I'm repeating myself stuff, but it is what it is. So I go over to her house like once or twice a week, take care of stuff. I mean, everything from stuff with my dad's estate, which isn't much left in there, but it's still got to be taken care of. Also, like spraying Roundup on her. She's got to pave her driveway. So I took care of that for her. Silly stuff like that. What else did I do for her? Had to show her some stuff in email, set up some filters for her because she gets so much junk mail, poor lady. And she doesn't know whether to answer it or not. So she gets something that says, "Oh, you were charged $500 for, tolls or whatever, or your Norton is going to run out. Pay $500." It's like, so I just created a filter that anything that comes in that says unsubscribe, put it to a separate folder, and that kind of helped her out. So, what's everybody's plans for today? I got to check the bait I got. If I use the bait I have, I'll be using cut bait because it's old bait. I mean, it's alive, right? But I never have real luck with bait. This bait's a week and a half old in my bait tank. I've been feeding it. Doesn't mean it's going to be as lively as I like. So we may just be fishing with some cut bait tonight and see what happens. Maybe I'll rig up a couple poles for with the Whisker Seeker spooks, whatever the heck you want to call them, and we'll see what's going on. You getting ready to go to work? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hopefully you stop and get some donuts on the way. We got 5 people watching, record numbers this morning. Oh, somebody came. There's Bugman. What's up, Buggy?
Good morning. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm gonna go fishing today.
Are you? Where are you going?
Summit Lake. I'm gonna go catfishing.
Yeah.
It's the last day the heat's coming back, so go today or suffer.
Let me look at the weather for the week here. It's getting warm here, but I wouldn't. It's not bad. It's going to be like Friday it'll be 90, but it'll be in the 80s. It's getting hotter. So I'm going tonight.
Here it's going to start getting in the mid 80s in the next 2 days. So I'm going to go today or I'm not going to get to go. You know what I mean? So I can't do that mid 80s stuff. I have to go at night if I do.
Well, like I said, I don't know if you were in here when I said this. I'm ready to go fishing like right now, and I packed up the cooler, threw it in there, made the double cup of coffee, and I'm sitting in the garage going, do I want to go out and fish for like walleye, which I have some in the freezer. I don't need any. Or do I want to, because I'm not sure if I can find them midsummer. Everybody says drag the weed lines or fish the weed lines. I can do that, but if the river is as overgrown as I think, it'll be hard. I can fish for channel cats, which is fun. But flathead season's only so long, so I might as well just go tonight.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take one pole. Actually, I'm gonna just go throw a line out and kind of sit there and chill. You know what I mean? Before it gets busy again, because I'm sure it's going to start getting busy here in the next day or two.
Are you going to go live or no?
Nah, probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just going to go chill.
I was thinking about doing that tonight. I don't know if I'll go. I don't know if I won't go live, but I'm thinking 8:00 after Catfish Weekly. If I do, I might just, I got a track mount on the side of my boat, right? And I bought an iPad holder that holds the iPad right next to where I sit and watch the lines. I might do like Josh does, is just watch some movies or something while I'm fishing and maybe do a little film and try to get a couple of TikToks or something out of there. I don't know. Or I'll go live for an hour or two and see what happens. Maybe go live at night. Because the problem is, it's during the week. But if I go live and I'm live, half the night, the whole night, people, aren't awake. You know what I mean? And that's if I go in horizontal or rather than vertical. And then vertical, you get all the weirdos that come in there, which is fine. For every one weirdo, you get a few people that actually look. If I have my Whisker Seekers logo up there, it's stuff that people still see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I
just
want to, I don't know. When I go live, I take so much crap with me and I don't have a phone holder thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have to use a selfie stick and it's just a pain. And I just want to go and kind of chill. It's been real busy for like 4 or 5 weeks. I just needed a break. So I took the weekend off.
Weekend off of working, you mean?
Yeah. Actually, I took 3 or 4 days off. 3 days. This will be the 4th, actually. And I got all my appraisals done. Then I had to wait to make sure there weren't no revisions or anything before I could actually just not pay attention to email or nothing. Come on, guys. Let's get on up in here. What are you doing? Are you stuck?
I should have let my dogs out there upstairs walking around. I can hear their little toes on the flooring.
Smart. Too nice to be coming in, ain't it? I don't blame you. I'd have stayed out there too. But yeah, sometimes it gets a little hectic and you just got to get a break, man. Because I'm trying to work a lot.
Work is good, man. Money is good.
Well, yeah, exactly. One, I was off for almost 2 years, and I missed it. And now I got back to work. I kind of went overboard, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I got a little overwhelmed. I had too many reports due, and was in a deadline kind of thing. It wasn't great. But
my days used to be like that all the time.
Yeah, I know, man. I took too many reports on. Thinking I'm 20 years old again and I can work till midnight, get up at 5 and start, you know what I mean? And just that don't work no more. I can't do that. So I decided now, instead of like, what I would do is order requests come in via email, right?
Uh-huh.
And I would accept them. First, they ask you for your fee and your turn time. How soon can you get it to us and how much do you want to do it? And you submit your offer, well, 3 or 4 come in, and I try to stagger them a day apart as far as the due dates go, you know what I mean? And then also I got I had 4 reports due one day after another. And if anything happens and throws you out of whack by one day or a half a day, you're pretty much behind the 8 ball then,
Uh-huh.
And so there were a couple late nights and a little stress, and I was like, dude, man, you're too old for stress. It's good to make money, but you don't need it that bad. I'm trying to make a bunch of money to buy a boat, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not anything fancy, not, anything like what you got, just something, a little fishing boat, a couple grand, nothing out there, I don't need much.
You just reminded me to check my email, make sure I got to work. A lot of the stuff that I do, I've been doing what I do for a long time. So I've learned to automate a lot of stuff. I got somebody that charges me like next to nothing to do the things I need to do. So somebody, one of my clients, I work for a ton of attorneys. I got a ton that use like my services. If they need something done, if I don't want to do, or if it's something I can pawn off to somebody else, I do that. So, I mean, somebody else is making my money for me. Everything else is automated. My billing's all automated for the month. I just got to make sure that it gets out, make sure the money gets in, and track back what's going on. So it isn't too bad. I mean, I could really press it and make a ton of money doing that, but I got too much going on. I got to take care. I'm taking care of my family, everything from like my wife to my mother. And when my dad was alive, I was doing all sorts of stuff for him. And, I'm blessed that, I'm in this position. I was hoping I could find the time to grow my YouTube channel and do some fishing, but then, I don't like to travel, man. And if you're not willing to go from spot to spot to spot, being like different lakes or even different states, it's hard to do that. Everybody does live streams now. Everybody does, like, not everybody does videos, but they do a lot of videos, just local little videos. But if you want to make it big, you got to have a storyline. You got to do good editing, have good sound in that editing. Good editing consists of, not just the edit, it's the color grading, all sorts of stuff. The people that go through all of that, they're the ones that make it pretty big on YouTube, and it pays off for them. Like, I don't know, do you ever watch that guy Tom Boley? He's been doing some pretty good stuff lately. He's a walleye guy here out of Wisconsin, and he's been doing some pretty epic stuff. And his storyline is, fishing for the big one. Will I catch, a monster? You're never gonna believe this, and that stuff. I don't know that.
Most appraisers, by my stage in life, stop actually appraising and take a couple trainees on and make money off them, but that's too much of a hassle for me. Because what you do is when you have trainees, when you're a trainee, you got a trainee for 2 years and 2,500 hours. Well, the appraiser that you appraise under is the one responsible for the reports, right? He teaches you how to do it. You do all the work. He just kind of basically goes through and checks it, signs it, and sends it off. And if you get, if you got a couple good trainees, technically you're supposed to go with them on every house inspection. You know what I mean? But let's face it, after about 6 or 7, 10 or 12 house inspections, you pretty much got it down pat. It's not rocket science, So if you got good, trustworthy trainees, you can send them out and do them all yourself. And all you do is sit there and sign reports and send them off, which could be done from a boat in Cumberland Lake or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And that's where most appraisers, when they reach my stage in life, that's what they're doing. And I just, it's too much of a hassle for me. I found trying to teach people to ride dirt bikes, I am not a good teacher. That takes patience that I don't have. Well, I don't know. Something that comes natural to me that someone struggles with, I have patience with. Well, don't you get it? It's easy. This is all and I just learned that I wouldn't make a good supervisor at all.
Yeah, that's no different than making like informational YouTube videos. All right, because it's hard to comprehend that people don't know what sometimes. It's like silly stuff like how to tie a knot, how to set up a spook, how what kind of line to pick, stuff like that. People actually need to know that stuff, and it might seem simple to us, and it's I don't know, sometimes it almost seems kind of cringy to go through and make those kind of videos, but you got to do it, and people do appreciate it. It's something that I have always struggled getting over, and in my younger years, I'd get upset when somebody wouldn't comprehend what I'm trying to tell them or something, but you just kind of got to get past it and try to be as understanding as possible. And remember that, don't be afraid to think you're repeating yourself, because somebody can get some use out of it. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I'm just not, I don't have the patience. I know me. So it's like, no. And like I said, I learned that from trying to teach people to ride dirt bikes. I just, what part don't you get about you pull the clutch and you slowly let it out the bike, considering that, it's something I started doing when I was 9. So I don't even, it's a reflex and not a thought process. So,
muscle memory, definitely. I remember when I went and passed, when I took my motorcycle test long time ago. I borrowed my buddy's Yamaha. I think it was like a 750. I don't even remember. What was the Yamaha Cruiser back in the day, back in the 80s?
I used to have that, what was called a 650 special at one time. I remember it. It was a twin cylinder. It was a pretty nice bike.
I don't know. This was a 4. I don't know. Was it a Virago maybe?
I think they made one like that was called that. Now you mention that.
And anyway, I took the test down there, and I remember, the clutch slipping out of my hand and popping a wheelie during the test. That was almost made me fail that thing, but it is what it is. It was a part of the test where you're supposed to go from, into first, into second, down to first, back to neutral, and stop in the box. I think that's what the test was. That was so long ago.
Yeah, and the riding test for your driver's license. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yep. You know where you're. Here in Illinois, there's a little box they paint on the ground in the parking lot, and you got to
accelerate to a certain speed and then stop.
Yeah, do the swerve and the test and all of that. So that was a long time ago. I you know what? They asked me if I wanted to renew my my M class, my motorcycle license. Last time I was in there, I'm like, I'm not gonna. Why go and take the test and pay the extra $15?
You have to do it over again, really?
Well, you don't have to do the driving, but you got to do the written every time you get your new license. Now, here's the problem. I had gotten a ticket. All right, this is what I found out. For some reason, I have to go into the DMV every couple of, 2 years to renew my driver's license, 4 years, whatever it is. They require me to go in because I got a ticket on my Harley going 88 and a 40. Which was way over.
Yeah,
and the only reason I was going that fast, Buggy, because it was 90 degrees outside and I was hot as hell.
Yeah.
It was a back road, and some lady cop, hey, what's going on, Hog Lake? Some police officer got me and gave me a ticket. I remember she made me sit there on my bike, and she took her time writing that ticket, and I was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, and she saw it.
Yep, I've been up there. I know what you're talking about.
So now I got to go in there every time into the DMV and do it. Where my wife just does it online and boom, she's
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah. Okay. I understand now.
what's up, Hoggy? How you doing, man? Nobody was going live, so I figure I'd go live for a little bit. We'll see who comes in here. We got a whole 6 people watching. Woo, I'm famous.
Mm-hmm.
At least not anymore. I am.
But I don't know. My job, what I have to do is pretty easy. So even if I do retire, I'm still going to keep my license and everything active. That way I can, if I done 3 appraisals a month, that's what, $1,200 and some dollars a month on top of what I'll be drawing anyway. And I think you can make $22,000 a year on top of your Social Security. So that should make me, I'll be comfortable. I don't need anything. I got everything I need. So just be, living money.
Yep.
And I am the world's laziest human being.
I don't know, man. I'm probably pretty stiff competition with you.
I'm not proud of it, but it is a fact.
Hogleg says, "Good morning, Bugman."
Morning, Hogleg. How are you, buddy? Oh, but yeah, today's our last day of cool temperatures, so I was like, man, I gotta go fishing. I went done the carp thing Saturday morning, Eric B's carp tournament, and then came home and done some mowing and stuff, and I was supposed to go Saturday night with my buddy, but he never got back with me. So he must have decided he didn't want to go. We were going to go catfishing over at Summit in his boat. And so yesterday, didn't do anything yesterday, really. I just kind of vegged out. Well, I woke up with a headache. I don't ever get headaches, man. I'm maybe 4 or 5 in my whole lifetime. And so I don't do them very well when it does happen.
I got you.
And Mom had some Excedrin migraine extra strengths or whatever. I took those. But are you getting the bad air quality up there from Canada and stuff?
Oh yeah, it was pretty thick here a couple of days. One day last week, what was it? A week ago today, I went and took the dogs out, and it was foggy out. It was like the smoke on top of the fog. It was pretty heavy. It wasn't bad. At night, sometimes it'll redden up the sky.
Yeah.
But other than that, they say I'm getting, at least up until like Friday, I was getting air quality warnings from my weather app, and I got what's called Nixie up here in Illinois, which is a tech system. They warn you of storms and stuff. I was constantly getting warnings about that stuff. So yeah, it was up here. I mean, it's not as thick as you think, but you can definitely see a haze.
Well, my nose was running, and it kind of felt like my throat was scratchy. You know what I mean? I couldn't figure it out. Then the weather guy yesterday morning said something about it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what. Now, it's not allergy time right now for me, but I kept my nose running, and my throat felt kind of scratchy, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then after he said that, it made sense. Because he said, does anyone notice it's kind of hard to breathe outside right now? Well, here's the reason why. And like, oh, okay. I guess that fire's been burning up there forever, man.
Well, it took a while to get down here even, and then you were probably a week after us. I didn't even read the news, but I've been keeping away from the news because none of that is freaking true. You know what I mean? You don't know who's telling the truth.
Yeah, but that's that same fire that was sending smoke down here, 6-8 months ago or more? It's still the same fire burning.
Man, fires that last months. We got tsunamis that are supposedly thank God that nobody got hurt from that everybody wasn't as bad as they were saying, but they happen.
If you don't know Jesus Christ right now, you might want to get to know him, because it's a scary time right now. We had 4 earthquakes happened around the world this last week.
Well, all I know is about the one that was doing the tsunami. I don't know about the other ones. Like I said, I haven't really been keeping up with the news.
Well, there was a big one somewhere. I can't remember what country it was, but like an 8 something, like really high on the Richter scale.
That's the one that they were worried. That was the underwater one, just southeast Russia there.
I'm drinking my protein.
Man, it's peat moss. I don't know what that means, Hoggy. You have to forgive me.
peat moss. That's what you put your worms in.
That's planting stuff. That's that fungus or that light stuff.
Be a worm farmer. I don't know if you still doing that, Oliver?
I don't think he is. I think he let the worm farm go.
That's a good idea. It wasn't good for your dog.
Man, I had some worms go bad in my garage fridge. Man, did they stink. Thank God it's garbage day.
Oh, yeah. I never even thought about that part.
So what do you got planned for today, Hoggy? You going to play some games? What's Melissa doing? Hi, Melissa, if you can hear us. They took over and I let them go. Hopefully you put them in your garden, man. I wonder if you can put too many worms in your garden. Is that possible? I wonder if you can throw too many worms in your garden. Is that possible? I don't know. Anything. Too much of a good thing is a thing, so you don't really know.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Well, I tell you what, I was carp fishing Saturday, and I had new rigs and everything on. Same hooks I've been using for 3 or 4 years now. And I don't know how many I had that I'd get a run literally, and you just hear the reel screaming because I trip the reel and leave the clicker on so they can just run. And reach up, grab the pole, set the hook, fill them. They'd be on there for about 10 seconds. All of a sudden they'd be gone. I'm like, what on earth? And it happened like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, what on earth I've never had it happen before, you know what I mean? So I've had it where you always miss 1 or 2, but not the point where I could feel them that good where I knew they were hooked pretty solid. So I don't know what was going on. It was weird. I've never had it happen like that, so I don't know what the deal was.
I have weird stuff like that happen all the time, and I'm always wondering what the heck am I doing wrong? Because I'm definitely not doing wrong. I remember back in the day, I just throw some bait on a hook and the stuff at Dude's Business. I think we make things too complicated a lot lately. Everybody's trying to sell Everybody's trying to sell something, So flip through. I know you don't go on TikTok, but you're flipping through TikTok, and everybody and their brother's trying to sell catfish rigs.
Well,
it's like tie your own damn rigs and keep them simple. You don't need it to look like a freaking clown show.
Like the carp bait, mine's been the same thing for my whole life. A box of oats, a can of cream corn, and a can of corn. That's it. It's all of it. And I'm sitting there catching fish after fish the other day. All these guys are talking about boilies and hair rigs, and I'm like, dude, it's carp. I will admit I did go to the method feeder thing where it's got that little spring thing. You know what I mean? Because before that, I would just pack it around the hook. That's what I always done with a couple pieces of corn on the hook, then pack it around the hook. But I found with the method feeder thing, I can cast further. That's the only reason I use it, because it holds on. It doesn't come off when I cast real far.
My grandfather, who I fished with when I was a kid, who taught me how to fish, he was poor as dirt. He had one leg, living on disability since he was like 21 years old. So he fished to eat, and he just kept it simple. He'd buy a can of corn. I think it was like 10, 12 cents back in the day. A couple cans of corn. He'd throw out some chum. He'd put out a couple of high-low rigs on 2 lines for me. Put some worms on there that he dug up and kept, and like, I guess he farmed some worms because he had a big old bucket that he kept them in. And that was it. And it worked. So, when I was doing any carp fishing for bait, I just get a couple cans of corn and chum around the area, put 2 kernels on a Eagle Claw number 2 hook and the snells, and boom, it worked. I don't know what else to say.
I got the Eagle Claw number 2s, and that's what I'm taking them carp hooks off, and I'm going to go back to, because that's what I always use too. I'm going back to the regular old gold hooks. because someone told me about those carp hooks, so I ordered some, and they've worked great until this weekend. As naturally it happens once in a tournament, you know. Because for one, I forgot my net, so I lost 2 at the bank because I had to lift them up about 3 feet to get them out of the water, and you know how soft carp's mouths are. 2 of them dropped off, and I lost 2 right at the bank, which those 4 fish would have won the tournament for me. Because they all averaged 4 pounds. I did catch a nice 7-pound carp though. He was real kind of dark colored, and his mouth was a lot bigger than and thick. It was kind of. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video. I hope they got a close up of his mouth because it was different than just the regular, you know, gold looking yellow carp that I catch.
Yep,
it's really thick mouth. And when he hit. You know, or whatever. When I set the hook, I was like, "Oh man, this is definitely a little better than what I usually catch here." And I got lucky and actually got him swung up on the bank. I thought for sure that he would be one because I seen him. I almost went down and got in the water, to be honest with you. And I thought, dude, come on, you're not freaking 20 years old no more. No, these rocks are like 3-foot big boulders. It's like, don't climb down there, you dumbass. You know better than that.
Yeah, Buggy, keep it simple, 100%.
I agree.
Buggy says, yeah, I need to get me a fishing wagon. You know, the Walmart one works all right. I don't know how tall you are, Hoggy. Only problem with the one I got from Walmart is, you know, I'm 6 foot tall. The handle's kind of short, so if you got to drag it a long ways, you got to hunch over to hold on to that handle. If I built some sort of extension or something to it, man, it'd be a no-brainer. I think I paid like $70 for it. So
like me and Hogleg would be fine then because we're short people.
If you're close, yeah, I mean, it's got its advantage. You know, I can reach up into the top shelf in the cabinet. You guys can pull a wagon without hurting your back.
I got one. I thought about taking because the place I'm going to go fishing at today, it's about a 200-yard walk or so from the parking lot. And I thought about taking my wagon and putting everything in it and putting 2 or 3, you know, and I was like, man, dude, just take your pole, a lawn chair, your bait, and a book and your phone. You know what I mean? Just like we were just talking about, keep it simple. I'm just going to go out there, 1 pole, and I may not even take a rod holder. I may just prop it up in the chair next to me kind of thing. You know, just kind of to be out there.
You know, before I turned 50, I used to bank. Hoggy says, looks like I'm a bank fisher. Yeah, I was a bank fisherman for a long time. Before I got my last boat, all I did was bank fish. Because that's what, you know, I could afford at the time. And I got that wagon and I would drag that sucker for like a mile on the Fox River here, you know, up down in like the Carpenterville area, the Dundee area. There's a trail. Actually, there's a trail up here too that goes along the river. So you can park in a parking lot. And then I'd walk down this, you know, asphalt bike trail, which wasn't hard to drag it, like a mile with, you know, 5-gallon bucket of live bluegills and 3 rods or 2 rods. It was 2 rods because I was bank fishing back before I, you know, learned how to, you know, maneuver the rules a little bit. And it worked real well. I mean, those were, you know, simple days. You got to do a lot more. Well, you know, I do a lot of work with the boat to go fishing. I guess it's the same. It's just different. But yeah, bank fishing is cool. Once you get there, you get all set up, get your lines up, get your folding chair undone, start a fire. And those are simple days. Those are good days.
That's the bad part. The 2 places, well, the 1 place I go fishing, you can't build a fire because it's a state park. You know, you can't build one on the bank of the state park.
Hey, David, what's going on, bud? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm going to go I was going to go fishing, so I got up early and talked myself out of it. I talked myself into going flathead fishing tonight. Whether I go, I'm thinking I'm going to go live, at least for a little while, but if not, I'm just going to watch some movies on my iPad and do a little filming. I need to get some shorts and some reels made and all that, TikToks or whatever. And we'll see what we do. I'm feeling lazy. I don't even feel like doing that, but I got the cameras and stuff all charged up. They're all in the boat. Might as well do it. But yeah, I was like, well, do I want to chase walleye or flathead now, or do I want to go after, walleye or channel cats during the day? You know, you can always get a flathead, but chances are slim to none you're going to find him. You got to hit him in the head here. Or should I go tonight? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go tonight. I'll unpack the cooler. Came in here, turned on the computer. Nobody was live. I'm like, I'll go live and see what happens. Just give some people a place to hang out in the morning. And I don't know if everybody's, subbed to my second channel here. I only got like 108 subs, 116 subscribers, and who knows who they are and if they get notifications or whatever. I don't go live enough on here to have an audience. I know that you guys like that used to be in your show, and some of the people in Hoggy's show come in here. I'd lie if I said everybody liked me. There's a lot of people out there that don't. So
I just realized my son's got the trolling motor and he don't have a battery tender. I know it ain't on a tender. I forgot I got the stickers for the little boat. Me and my buddy were talking yesterday about the little boat and me talking about it setting lower in the water, and I thought the foam might be, waterlogged or whatever. And he said, dude, you got to realize you added those two battery mates, the electric battery things, you know what I mean? Plus you weigh more. He said, if you put you and your dad in there and you both weighed more than you did 20 years ago, of course it's going to sit a little lower in the water. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Because I was afraid I'd get out there and it'd sink, to be honest with you, and I don't want to deal with that.
I think Hoggy, is that what the temperature is going to be today, Hogleg? That's crazy. And thanks for subbing, Dave. Yeah, this channel, I just do baloney. Things that are not productive on my other channel, like crappy lives like this one. Not that Buggy's crappy, but this is an unplanned off the thing. Yeah, my wife is up. She's awake.
My show's generic. What are you talking about? I don't have a game plan or nothing. Well, I'm not starting to back up again until wintertime. I'm over it. I was burnt out. It got to not be.
Yeah, my wife's up. She just walked by the door. I had to say good morning to her.
Okay, bro.
Hey, there's my buddy Mike. What's going on? Oh, 116 subs. Gotcha. I was like, 116 degrees feels like that's crazy. Hey, what else did I do this weekend? We went out to eat. Where'd we go on? Friday, we went out for sushi. I know you guys don't like it.
I like sushi.
I know a lot of people don't. Sushi's pretty good. We went to our normal place, which is usually pretty good, but we ordered some other stuff like this special white dragon roll and a couple of other stuff. And the guy that usually makes our sushi, he's the brother of the guy who started this restaurant, which is super popular. It's hard to get in there, but since I know the family, they always make room for us at the sushi bar, which is good. I'm blessed in that way. I know a lot of people around.
Yeah.
And we had some other guy making a sushi for us, which was a mistake. We should have had him do this stuff. But anyways, it wasn't bad. Usually I just get the nigiri, like a salmon or a tuna on a thing of rice, but we got rolls this time. So let's see what Dave says here. He says they've figured out that my heart problem is its beta blockers. I need more of it because I have ADD, so I make too much adrenaline, and the adrenaline keeps shorting out my heart. You got to relax. Maybe do some meditation, stuff like that. It's all state of mind.
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but mind over matter is an actual thing.
It is. And if you ain't never tried meditation, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Also, without getting too Bible driven, prayer is great meditation.
Yep.
100%. I was just listening to a podcast about it, and the guy's he was a Catholic, but he was explaining how not only does it bring you closer to the man upstairs, but it definitely has meditative traits. So he'll, rather than sitting there going home, he'll say the Our Father 20 times. And
if you think about today's day and age, man, we're from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you're very rarely without some form of stimulation that's happening.
Yep.
Either your phone, TV, something. There's never no just downtime anymore in today's day and age, and you just have to make downtime. Otherwise, it just keeps going faster and faster. That's what happens to me.
I've been trying to sit out in my yard a heck of a lot more this year,
Yep.
playing with the dogs. And, my wife will come out there, bring the iPad out there, and she looks at what kind of vacation. She's on a vacation kick, and God bless her. She deserves them. She works hard.
Yep.
But, and that's, nice. Even when it's super hot out, it's kind of nice. I'll get my Bluetooth speaker out there with me, and, play some tunes, annoy the neighbors. If the wife's not out there, I play them at a higher volume. She doesn't care for music at high volumes too much. So when she's out there, we're just listening. I've got a backyard mix that I play everything from, yacht rock to country music to reggae music. I listen to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that. How busy we are these days, and even if you don't work, like I said, very rarely do we sit and do nothing anymore, and without any noise or something. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like when I leave here to go somewhere, I don't usually get pulled out of the driveway for 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. I'm out in the car, and I'm usually, I'll get everything ready going. I'll just sit there and chill for a few minutes, just relaxing. Like, okay, let's just take it easy for a little bit. You're in no hurry.
Come on, you want up?
That's the whole idea about going fishing today and making it simple. One fishing pole, a lawn chair, my bait, and that's it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, and I really don't even care if I fish or not. I'm just going to go out there and chill,
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about just even going like I do, go in the ponds and fish for bluegills, man.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Put a worm on a hook and haul a bunch of them in and go from there.
I could go do that, actually, come think of it. I haven't been out to Sonny's for a while.
Come here. You want up? These
but
dogs
then I'll end up wanting to clean them and cook them, and my whole day will end up getting busy.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah, get that little buddy. What you doing, huh? Say, Dad, I'm getting this.
They got to say good morning to Dad. These two little knuckleheads. These guys make me, they're always so happy, man. I wish I could be this happy.
I know. Little guy and the kitty have got to be buddies now, and they were actually playing this morning, running around the house, chasing each other. It was hilarious. Because the first couple of days, it was kind of touch and go when I brought that kitten home. I bled. You know what I mean? Because he would get all freaked out, and I would pick him up, and then the dog would try to jump up on my legs, and the cat would freak out. And I'm like, oh, shit, this was a really bad idea. And it's starting to mellow out now, and they become buddies. Except the cat took his sleeping spot on the couch with Mom, and he is so butthurt about it right now, man. It's hilarious. You can see his face, literally, his face. You can see he's bummed. Like, get off my spot, man.
You got to say anything? You going to snort?
What are you doing, buddy? Huh? He's like,
yes.
Look at that. Got a tongue 1.5 miles long. Are you kidding?
She's got a long tongue, buddy.
Look at that. Like, oh, my eyes closed. I want to go. Let's go lay down, Dad. It's nap time. That's what it is.
She's still sleepy. See how her tongue sticks out a little bit?
Oh, how cool is that?
Yes, I know. They can't lick their butt, so if they lick me, it's no big deal. Bulldogs have that weird neck, so it's hard for them to get around. Let's see what Dave says.
Dave, where I'm at, I'm on a dead-end road in the country, brother. I can go outside and sit and not see anything or anyone for 5 hours usually. Right now, there's a couple kids live here. I live on a dead-end street that's got about 7 houses on it. And, school's out right now, so there's a couple kids here that, they run up and down the road. One little girl got a little dirt bike thing, a little automatic dirt bike thing that flies. And she was running up and down the road wide open with no helmet or nothing on. Well, I went in the garage and got one of my dirt bike helmets. Went out the road and flagged her down and handed her, here, put this on. I said, I want to see you ride that no more without a helmet on. I said, if you crash on this pavement as fast as you're going, because she was flying on, little girl, I'm like, you're gonna get brain damage. Just please wear this helmet. And her dad come over. They live next door to me. He thanked me for doing it. He said, I didn't have one. I said, yeah, I know. I said, it's all right. And then her and the kid across the road, they were taking turns the other day, and she had her helmet on and the kid across the road didn't. But I know he has a helmet because he's got a go-kart thing, right? And I was just walking out to tell him to put his helmet on because his parents wasn't home. And he rolled up and grabbed the front brake in the gravel and went over the bars and crashed. And I was like, hey, are you okay, man? I said, you need to get a helmet on. All right, buddy. I said, I was just coming over here to tell you that, I felt bad because he crashed, and you could tell he was scraped up a little bit, but he didn't want to show it. And I asked him through, I said, are you sure you're all right? I said, if you're scraped up, well, I'll go over here and get some stuff and clean you up. No, I'm all right. I said, well, you need to put a helmet on. I said, I'm not your dad, but I've been around motorcycles my whole life, and I know what happens when the head hits pavement.
Yep.
You don't win.
Hey, Denise, how you doing, Denise? And let me tell David something. Dave, I was listening to Sean Ryan's podcast, and he was talking about somebody came to him and told him he was worrying about, somebody who's that successful. You got to consider all the major problems in the world, because that's pretty much what you're talking about. And somebody came to him, and he believes that it was, divine intervention, and told him not to worry about those things. They're not his problems. Don't worry about them. They're, and it's easier said than done, but you don't need to solve other people's problems, at least not at that level. So if you're looking at something, you see something you don't like, chances are there's really nothing you can do about it. It doesn't pay to get too concerned about it. And I don't know. So I've kind of started saying to myself, let them do what they're going to do. A lot of times things that happen and whether it's real life or even here, the fishing world on YouTube, I don't approve of too much. It seems too, I don't know. It just doesn't seem what fishing is to me. And it's not my place to tell other people what things should mean to them or what they do. Just let them do it. Yeah. I just hate when I see people get taken advantage of, or people getting bamboozled, or
I can't stand see nobody get taken advantage of. I have to say something when that happens, and I know it's not my place. It's because I lived most of my life. It's not my business. Whatever anyone happens or does anyone else, it's none of my business. Stay out of it. You know what I mean? I've always been like that, but I'm like you. Sometimes you see something happening, and you got to say something.
Well, you got to say something or stop it. I'm talking about definitely in dangerous situations, but there's nothing you can do personally besides, cast your vote, which I'm and it really matters, of what China's doing, what I mean, or what's happening.
My son got on to me. He said, you know what? He said, you need to stop watching the news and get off the internet. He said, all you do is talk and worry about that shit. And it's been about a year ago. And I'm like, you're right. So I try to just not even worry about it much anymore. I still get caught up in it sometimes, and I got to catch myself.
I used to go on to Twitter quite a bit, or X, like it's called now. And for some reason, everything's just hot garbage, man. Nothing's but like racial crap. So
I figured out if you cured cancer, okay, and you put it on the internet, somebody's going to come on there and say something negative about it. It doesn't matter what it is. Somebody will say something negative. It just seems like it's that way. You know what I mean? I don't figure it out.
It gets people attention. They want to be like, look at me. I'm smarter than you. I know better than you.
Yeah, because they'd be something like, well, boy, it took you long enough, or something like that, instead of being like, oh, man, so awesome. You cured cancer. Thank you, I don't get that part. I don't get the always got to criticize other people's, and like if someone has success, everyone, there's always seems like people want to start, you work hard to build yourself up to the top. And when you get there, the first thing that happens, they start trying to knock you down off the top, by saying bad stuff about you. That's why I'll never be on top. So I ain't got to worry about that stuff.
I don't know. I don't want to get into it.
I'm a simple man. We were talking the other day, lady put a picture on Facebook of cornfields here and right now they're real tall, She said, I don't know what it is, but there's something about cornfields. I just love looking at them when I'm driving in the country. And then it reminded me when I was a kid, man, we would spend hours playing in cornfields. And then it got me to think about you'd come home in the evening time afterwards and your arms and legs would be all scraped up and you'd be all itchy and you'd have to get in the bath because you'd itch so bad, and it was just, we didn't have any electronics. We didn't have a TV till I was probably 5 or 6, And I'm like, man, we didn't have air conditioning in my house though my whole life growing up. And we lived, it didn't kill us,
Well, you know, I also have thoughts about that. Back in the day, we had something called boredom, like legitimate boredom,
Yes.
Puggy.
Yes.
It forced you to do stuff or be bored,
Yep.
right? So you would do stuff like go play in a creek, go
That
play in a
makes sense.
cornfield.
I never thought about the board. Yeah, that makes
Now kids, they just turn on their iPad or their phone,
yep.
and they communicate with their friends, and it turns into a competition of who can cause the most trouble because, you know, obviously when you're a kid, trouble's, you know,
Yeah.
fun. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like when
But
the
the fun you can
telephone.
cause online is a lot, or the trouble you can cause online has a way greater impact than you'll ever understand on your own in your real life. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day, if you were a bully in school, somebody'd straighten your ass out eventually and it would be done.
Yeah.
Now, if you're bullying somebody, you're bullying, you know, a whole cross section of people that see your posts, and it gets attention. Look at these
Well,
streamers making millions and millions of dollars just by being pains in the ass. You know what I mean, to other people.
Adam makes the cat claws fishing rod holders, right? I guess someone's been coming on and bothering him about those things are junk. They bend and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
Why
man,
would, you know, I
why
read that.
on
I
earth?
don't post stuff like that. Don't. It does nothing for your thing. All it does is make you look like, you know, you're what kind of delicate, you know.
Yeah,
You can't,
I
you
just
can't, if
and
you're
that
going to try to make it in business, you got to project, you know, that you're not, that you know,
he's a
you're
young
sure you're.
kid is what gets me. He's a young kid with ambition, and you ain't seeing a whole lot of that these days. You know what I mean? So I support him 100%. He works, he's got a family, he's you know, he takes his kids fishing and stuff, and on the side he's trying to make these rod holders. And to get online and just dog him, and he ended up sending me a private message talking. We talked about it, and I was like, because I might have said something that, you know, tell a guy come over and say something to me. I got something for him, and he come on and told me he took care of it. But I like
Yeah,
him. Whether you
he's
like his rod
Adam.
holders or not, he's a good kid.
I've met Adam in Mendota when we were fishing Mendota, and he was telling me some of the issues he's having, and I gave him, you know, like the best advice that I could give him,
Hi, Lisa.
and whether or not he takes it, that's up to him. But yeah, he's a good dude. He was pretty kind. He gave me a good deal on some of those rod holders that I sent to KP back in the day.
Yeah.
I got 3 of them myself. I wanted to support them, so I paid for those. And I don't even bank fish that much. I do take them with me when I go bullhead fishing, but other than that, I don't use them. But the product's good. Those rod holders have been around for a while. Nobody's got a patent on them, so it's like the wild west. Hey,
Yeah.
Lisa, how you doing, dear? It's
Yeah.
the wild west out there as far as selling them. I mean, it is what it is. You sell
I would
anything,
buy 'em even if I
somebody
did.
else is going to sell it. Everything I've ever done on YouTube that I thought was original or that nobody else was doing before got copied, and that used to really upset me. And I'm thinking, well, you must be doing something right if other people, you know, are doing it. If you can't protect something legally, expect it. It's just all part of the game. You got to outperform everybody, whether it's videos or products. You know, outperform them, get in front of more people. That's all you got to do. It's a grind. It's definitely a grind, 100%. You know, when we had our business, when my wife and her sister were practicing law, I was running the law firm there for a while before COVID kind of destroyed it. But we were doing really well. You know, thank the man upstairs, and that was just by getting our name out there. We were running radio ads, things like that. People were recognizing her from just her name on her credit card when she checked out in the store or something, and that brought us some good business. But you know, we moved over to the business sector, and I'm not going to get into it. And you know, the lockdowns just shut everything down. Anyways, I'm not going to complain. You know, there's a way. There's things put in front of us to overcome for a reason. I like to think. David says people should just work hard, show what they got, and not worry about complaining about other people. 100%.
I've just learned that the internet, no matter what you do, someone's going to have something negative to say about it. You just have to accept it because it's just like I said. You could cure cancer, and somebody's going to tell you something negative about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David here says him and I have talked. I think he's talking about Adam about
Yeah.
stuff since I make rod holders as well. Yeah, see, there's no reason to be upset. There's so many. There's such a big market. I mean, I never went on Blacktip H's
Fastest
YouTube
growing
channel.
fishing segment in the world or in the country right now, catfishing is.
I'm sorry.
Catfishing is the fastest growing fishing segment in the country right now.
Yeah, we'll see how. I think it's dying, but anyways, that's just me. It's definitely slowing down. TikTok made it explode, and them kids on TikTok, they have no attention span. They won't stay with it.
Yeah.
They'll move on and
Yeah.
move along.
Yeah.
So, I see all of these lives
Excuse me.
on not just YouTube but TikTok catfishing lives where there's nobody in them anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
I don't even see. I don't even see Ernie the Hog Snatcher, whatever Ernie's name. Ernie's good people. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't see I don't see them guys going as live as they used to. That made them take off. They're probably the biggest, fishing live streamers in the world, along with Chunky. But they're a different crowd. I've come to the realization that, my crowd is older people as far as my analytics go, and old people don't watch YouTube like the young kids do. They're not constantly looking at their phones. So, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe maybe I should do like Chris. Chris is smart. He started a second channel, his Faceless Kino channel, and he'll probably do real well.
Yeah.
I hope he is. He's in Alaska right now. And good for him. I've been thinking about other stuff. There's sectors out there that you can't. It'd be hard to mess up. If you have any YouTube experience, if you know how to edit a little bit and you can come up with a storyline, stuff like cooking, stuff like anything automotive, man, that stuff takes off pretty good.
I like that. Hard. Put your hater blockers on.
Yeah.
My skin is so thin, man. I have a hard time. And I got to remember, just don't respond, man. Don't even just ignore it.
David says, I tell people if you don't like mine, go see Adam. Yep.
And the part that gets me is people come in and complain about something you're doing or whatever, your material you're putting out online. It's like, well, why on earth do you come in and watch it then? If you don't like it, why are you sitting here watching it complaining about it? I'll never understand that. Like, come on, man.
Did you happen to see Spencer's latest video?
I don't even think I know who Spencer is.
Spencer's River Certified.
Oh, no.
I'm going to suggest that you guys go check it out. And if you don't want to watch the video, go all the way to the end where he's in his garage and he apologizes kind of for being a jerk. And I kind of get it. You know what I mean? He was being he was fishing with Micah Burkhart in the tournament that they won, the Big Bucks, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And that's kind of exciting. But he was just kind of digging into Micah pretty hard. They were giving each other a lot, not each other. I think he was giving more crap out than he thought. And I think that's a big difference between, the younger people and I don't even want to say the other people, younger people. I want to say people that are mature and people that aren't. It's counterproductive. I mean, you can talk a little bit of shit with your friends and stuff, but when you're in public and you're doing business, I'm getting to the point of where it's counterproductive. I don't have like the room for it, and I'll talk a little bit of BS and when I'm other people's lives, but only the people that do it themselves. Let's say I won't go into Justin over at Kayak Catfishing, that when he was doing lives, that's a perfect example. He wouldn't, I'm a mod on his channel, he wouldn't stand for any of that stuff in his lives, and that's out of respect for himself and the other people watching. And I can kind of understand that. It's if you're gonna be on YouTube and you want to be successful on YouTube, you got to be professional to a point. You can obviously be humorous, you can be funny, but try not to do it at other people's expense. This is why I don't have a political channel, because there's half the population that don't think like I do, and I like to think I'm a little more mature, that I don't need to dog on people that I think might be idiots. I'll keep that to myself. Hey, Uncle Lou, how you doing, my friend? But that's just what it is. David says, I have two channels, a fishing one and then my metal fab shop channel. I just have been neglecting it for the last year and a half because of the heart attack. Hey, life gets in the way, David. 100%. David, hold on. I got to make Mike a mod too here. He's my friend. Let me see. Add as moderator. There we go. There you go, Mike. Thanks for being here. Look at this. Uncle Lou says, I'll tell you, they are idiots. There you go. And that's why a lot of people that watch lives don't talk. You know what I mean?
I got phone calls, so I'll be right back.
All right. I'll talk to the crowd. That's why people get in lives and don't talk as much. They just kind of sit back. They want to watch the fishing or whatever. They try to ignore the BS that's on there. And I get it. You know, I do that a lot too. A lot of lives I'll just keep quiet. You know, sometimes I think that I'm talking too much in lives, but I'm trying to help out the creator, to be honest. I'm not doing them any favors or thinking I'm that, you know, great a person or whatever. But, you know, when the chat's rolling, YouTube sees it, it helps their channel, this and that. So I'll start yapping a lot in chats on live fishing shows, the people I like for sure. So, I mean, that's just why I do it. You know, you got people out there that go out there and, you know, they don't want to deal with the BS or they think it's beneath the channels or beneath them, whatever, but it is what it is. I know a lot of like big names and stuff that watch my lives and they never talk. You know, it doesn't do me any good. They just don't want to get involved with that stuff because it's counterproductive to their image, you know, and I get it. At least that's how I think. If you guys think different, I'm open to listen to everything without getting upset about it. So I remember one creator, I forget his names. Was it JR, I think? He messaged me a bunch of times. He's like, man, your stuff's, you know, taking off. You're doing really well. You know, congratulations. It's I just don't get it. I don't understand. I'm like, well, you know, you kind of got to be unreachable to the masses, which is kind of shit talk, but it's true. For some reason, it's that whole hot girl in high school effect, where everybody likes the girl they don't have a chance with, that doesn't talk to them, that doesn't give them attention. It's ridiculous to me. And that's not the person I am. That's not what I want to have to do. So I've come to that realization there at the end of that whole run I had. So yep, 100%. Uncle Lou, halftime, the image is fake. There's a difference, I think, between being fake and being what's the word I'm looking for? Reserved. You can, you know, when you're working in the business world, which I did for a long time, I'm an idiot. I'll be the first one to say it, but I know how to act professional. It's not fake of me, but it's just the business part of me. And it works. I never say anything that isn't fake. I'd give people my honest opinion if they asked for it. Always did what the uppers wanted because they were running the show. It was their reputation and their career at stake. It wasn't mine, and that did me good. When I worked at the one IT company for a bunch of years, in 10 years I got, or 11 years, I got 10 promotions. So I guess I was doing something right. But I never, you know, went against what I believed was right. So, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, what's going on? Fresno, how you doing, bud? Good morning. Uncle Lou says you're 100% correct on that. There's a huge difference in that aspect. Yep, 100%. You know, I'm an idiot and I'll talk some shit and I do bad things. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect at all. I don't claim to be a good fisherman. I just claim to have had some experience and share those experiences with everybody. Time and time again, I see somebody who goes on YouTube and claims to be a subject matter expert. And that's something that I need to get over to, though. I mean, everybody's got to learn something from somewhere. Nobody's born with knowledge. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I remember back in the day when I was doing my show and stuff, somebody who lived in like southern warm climates would do a fishing show about ice fishing. It's like, what? but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So anyways, there's my rant for the morning. That's why I have this second channel, so I can delete these after they're done. Not that I will, but I can if I get out of hand and act like I'm an idiot. Uncle Lou says, if you stop learning, you just as well stop. 100%. And learning's part of it. Learn to love learning. Be adventurous in that aspect. You know, soak in everything you can. Man, my glasses are dirty.
I'm 61 and I still got so much to learn, man.
You know what I like to say? You know what I like to say, Buggy? When I was 18, I knew it all, and I've been forgetting it ever since.
I like it.
That's a long time ago. So yeah, we got a friend who she doesn't want to be like some Hollywood actress. Not that she would turn it down, but she always had fun. You know, her kids got older. So she had some time on her hands. So she started doing like local plays. And one of the things she did is she went and worked at the Renaissance Fair here up in just over the border in Wisconsin. I don't even know what town that's in, but, so we go there every year. She hasn't done it in a couple years, but she still knows all the people there. So we go in there and get free beer tickets and everything. We were supposed to do that yesterday, but Sheila wasn't feel good, so we didn't get to go. I mean, everybody thinks it's kind of dorky, which it is, but I'll tell you what.
My son goes to them in Indy all the time.
Yep, cold drinks and a lot of pretty women to look at. That's all I'm going to say.
Booty sticking up and the big turkey drumstick things. What are they called?
Yeah, the smoked turkey drumsticks. I don't know what they call them, but I don't really care for them. But that's me.
Yeah, my son and them do it all the time.
That's right, David. He says, well, when you start a new business, it's hard to learn, but learn fast. Yeah, you got to keep up with it. And if you're not learning at a fast enough pace, you'll get there. Just keep learning. All right, Hogleg, we'll be here. We'll be here for a little while.
You know, the best part about the internet is you learn how much you get exposed to diversity that you would normally never see in your small little world you live in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is what I have found. And I've definitely found that I'm not half as smart as I ever thought I was when you get exposed to other things. So there's a lot of really smart people out there.
100%. David says it's taken me almost 2 years to just figure out this stuff. Well, just to figure this stuff out. And I'm barely there. I'm barely there too. This YouTube stuff, I kind of slowed down, got the screws. You know what I noticed, Buggy, working at home? If I'm locked up in this house, and I did say locked up, it's kind of like your own prison. I love this house. I love living here. Glad to have a roof over my head. I'm glad to have, air conditioning in the summer and heat in the winter. But if I don't get out of this place,
I got it taken care of.
All right. Well, let me finish my thought. If I don't
get, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted.
Oh, no, not yet. Go ahead and mute yourself. If I don't get out of this house, it becomes just that. It becomes a prison. I start feeling really, not depressed, but kind of down. I don't want to say bored because it's different than bored. So I noticed that was happening because of the spawn and a lot of rain and having to deal with this stuff with my mom, that you get kind of down. You just got to get out. I don't know what else to say. If you got a job, you're going to that job every day and you hate going to that job every day. But I'm telling you, it's a place to go. It's a place to interact with society, and we are social animals. So that's something that everybody needs.
The one thing I missed most was when I worked at the cable company, we would all stand around in the garage in the mornings, drinking coffee and stuff and talking before we got ready to go out to work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it could be there's a billion different topics it could have been about, but I missed that aspect of when I started working at home. I didn't realize it until I started doing it. I was like, man, I really missed that, going in the morning and talking to people and stuff. And like you said, you can catch yourself being at home, not doing anything for 2 or 3 days, real easy, and not even realize it. Mm-hmm. Oh crap, man, I haven't done anything in a couple of days. I got to get out of this damn house. I've been out in the yard or something, but yeah.
Hey, Missy, how you doing, dear? She says, belittling people in any way, no matter who, you will get a comment dropped, and then I left. I understand. The people just don't want to read that stuff. The good people don't, definitely. Hey, Nubby, how you doing?
All right, Nubs, how are you, buddy? Yeah, it's working for yourself has its advantages and disadvantages. There are a lot of disadvantages people don't know about and don't think about. The lack of a social network is one of them. You know, if you think about it, when you work somewhere, 9 times out of 10, most of your friends come from the place where you work. You know, you work with the guy, you go fishing with him on the weekends, or you guys hang out, go out with them as a couple and stuff. You know, things like that you don't have when you work from home until the internet came along.
David says, I've decided to build a second website to sell all of my products. I'm just trying to make it easier on me so people can just go to a website and not have to contact me. That was the biggest problem I had with my hats, David. And I sold a hell of a lot of hats. I was shipping them one after another, and each one of them was done through PayPal and email, and it was a pain in the butt. And shame on me for not starting, like an e-commerce website where people could just go there and not contact me and buy one if they want it. It just is what it is. But I didn't have the network set up for making the hats or any of that. It'd be a heck of a lot easier if I could, have it set up that way and just get the orders. A lot of this stuff like on Shopify and this, it'll take your orders and print the shipping labels out and an invoice. You connect the two together, go pack the stuff, and you ship it. And then you just have to handle with problems. And hopefully you don't have a lot of that. Hey, Nubby, what's going on, bud? How you doing? Nubby's the man. Takes a couple hours a week just to deal with people. Yes, it does. 20 some messages about a product for them to not even buy it. Yeah, and that's another reason. Prices are getting expensive. I couldn't sell these hats for the $26 I was selling them for before and make any money. So it is what it is. My wife says she wants a couple of hats for us to take to on our cruise to Alaska, because they say she's been reading to wear a waterproof hoodie and like a Bill baseball type cap to go there. So she wants some catfish and crappie hats for herself. So I might have some to sell. I might order, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where to get $500. Maybe order $500 worth of hats, see if I can't sell them. Just because I'm ordering and I want the prices to be a little cheaper. There's all sorts of breaks. I think at 100, at 250, and at 500. At $500, I think I can get them for a price where I don't have to sell them, for $35 a piece, which I kind of don't want to. I'm just a guy who has somebody make them for me. It's not like not like Chris over at Catfish Clothing. God bless him. He has the machines that do everything for him. So
I'll give you 35 for one right now.
I don't have them yet, or else I'd give you one, Buggy. That's another problem. I like giving them away too much. I was giving away so many darn hats, it was ridiculous. Double Hug says, but I didn't start this business to make money, because you don't really make much money. I started to have something to do and give a good product. Cool. At least you got a mission. You have a business mission, company statement. There you go. Well, you never know what it grows into. There's nothing wrong with making money. It's the American way. We are a capitalist society. God bless us. My parents left a communist one. I'm not going to, be a part of any of that crap, because I've witnessed it firsthand, and it's not a good thing. 100%, it's not a good thing. Nothing wrong with making money. Nothing at all. It's just make it honestly. That's my problem, when people are making it in a dishonest way. You got people out there that are really kind, that are willing to donate stuff. I know a lot of companies out there won't donate to a good cause. Let's say it's a charity event for, let's say, just out of thin air for cancer. I've heard stories. I hear a lot of stories. With the little bit of popularity that I gained, man, I became like an outlet to people for them to complain and bitch about whatever they're doing, which I have no problem with. I'm glad I can help people work through stuff, but it was quite a lot to do with at the time. I don't know, if you're blessed, you got to hand your blessings on. I like to think at least the best you can. Sometimes I feel I don't give enough, but I can only give what I can give. I know I sent out, and I like this stuff to be kind of special and kind of think, what do I have to offer? Well, that's one of the reasons I started making, porn jigs and weights like that. I send them out to whoever does. David sent me stuff, which I'm so appreciative appreciative of. Uncle Lou sent me stuff, man. You don't know how appreciative I am. I just wish I could pay them back in any way, and hopefully I can figure something out. I don't know. It's just pressed for time. Every time I would get something, I'd always, feel self-conscious about it. Like, why me and this or that? But I mean, it is what it is. Let's see what David says. It has made me learn how to do things better and to be better. Amen. All right, Buggy's on the phone, which is fun. Let's see what Missy says. Hey, everyone, listening and packing for 2 weeks camping and fair time with the family and lots of friends. That sounds like a blast, Missy. I am envious. I am envious. Man, I used to love to camp when I was younger. Now I could probably camp too, but it's just slower, if you know what I mean. I'd make videos of that, and that would be kind of cool. I always wanted to go up to the Chippewa Flowage. They got a ton of islands on the Flowage that they have campsites on, like, primitive campsites. That would be so cool. Go up there for a week and just pull your boat up to your campsite, get out and cook what you caught for the day, or whether it's get up and get out of a tent and make yourself some eggs and bacon in the morning, make yourself some breakfast tacos with that. It just sounds like a good time, but I just can't, my knees just can't handle it, man. It's rough. I'd be stuck on that island for like Gilligan after a while, after a whole week. So the heart's there, but the body doesn't want to commit to it. One thing I'd love to do is get a sliding camper for my truck, so I could travel like down to Rend Lake on in September, and just pull up, drop my boat in the water when I wanted to, pull back into the campsite, hop in there and sleep in there, plug in the shore power and have an AC run. That would be kind of sweet. But that's not going to happen. Again, I'm not, as much as, certain people say I'm worth a ton a month. That's not the case, at least. And plus, I'm 55 years old, going on 56. I got to start thinking about the end game here. I'm going to start putting that money away even more. Missy says, pancakes. There you go. Hogleg says he's got himself some honeydew lemon. Hogleg, I love honeydew melon. I like cantaloupe. I like watermelon. My dogs really like watermelon. On a hot day, man, if I cut one of them suckers up, they're crazy happy to have some watermelon, gobble that stuff up. And it's not too bad on their stomach. It's not like they get the squirts or anything either, but they do like it. This weekend, we went to sushi on Friday night, and then on Saturday, we went out for Italian food. I know it sounds like we go out a lot, but we don't really eat that great at home. So the money we saved during the week by just eating minimalistically, we used to go out on the weekends, at least once every weekend or once every other weekend we've been trying. But this weekend we didn't feel like cooking much. And we were busy with mom. So the drama this weekend, I don't even want to get into it. But anyways, I had a melon old fashioned at a honeydew in it. I didn't care for it too much. I guess I'm a purist. But yeah, I had one this weekend. David says, with Gregory's fear of the boat, we are actually thinking about selling it and going to buy a camper in the spring. That way Naomi can be involved with us as well. David, that would be cool. If you got, I've seen people, well, you got 3 of you. So I'm trying to think, you need bigger than like a sliding camper. You can probably find something used online. My only advice being, we used to do a lot of ATVing and side-by-siding. I had a toy hauler back in the day. A big one. Oh my God, that thing was it was 12,500 pounds. Oh my God, I hated hauling that thing so much. That's the worst thing, is having to go down the road. I got my diesel truck and pulling it all right, but semis are passing you, trying to suck you into them. Man, that was white knuckle hell. My suggestion is get something as light as you can that your truck, has no problem hauling. You can giddy up and go, and you can get past these trucks rather than them passing you. So, and that's very much possible. Toy haulers are heavy because they got full frames from front to back, real heavy duty stuff just to haul that weight. The one I had, you could have hauled a sand rail in, but it was a nightmare to haul. We went down, we took that sucker all over the place. One of my favorite times was when we went to Land Between the Lakes. They have an off-road campsite there that has access to all the trails. And that was kind of fun. We took our niece with us, and the dogs got The dogs were covered in ticks, and then when we got home, we found out they were covered in fleas. We had to tear that whole camper apart from front to back to get it cleaned out. It was a mess, but we had a good time. Never saw so many deer before. I saw one elk back when they were starting the elk program down there. A ton of turkeys. It was a cool place. It was 100 something degrees the whole week though. It was rough. So Denise says I have watermelon and cantaloupe growing. Nice. We can always fish from the bank while we're camping. 100%. We can travel around with a 24-foot camper with my truck and sell rod holders. There you go. 20 foot's probably a good size. Mine was 34 foot. It was way too big. It was a beast thing. I ended up hating that thing at the end. I got rid of it for next to nothing. And that's the problem with campers. Buy a used one. You can find one cheap because you're not going to get your money out of it. Go to shows and events. Heck yeah. David, I'm trying to think, and I don't mean to discourage you at all, how you're going to get in and out of that. But then again, I think you're pretty able as far as, getting around your handicap, your disc condition. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. Those I'm thinking those toy haulers would be good. Maybe get a smaller one because that back folds down. You could use that as a ramp to get right in there. But it is what it is. See, I overthink things. Always thinking about how to overcome things that I haven't even, or other people haven't even come across. So the camper we're looking at is 4,500 pounds. My truck, your truck could haul it, no problem. Yeah. It's a pretty light camper. Yeah, I think that sliding camper for my truck would be awesome. I don't have any place to store it. That's another thing. I'd have to pay to store the thing. I'm not going to be driving around with it on the back of my truck all the time. That's ridiculous. Miss Denise says he could come up with a ramp. 100%. I could get around in it. It's tight getting in and out, but it's easy enough. Just throw on an aluminum ramp. There you go. See, I knew you'd be thinking about that. Just concerned for people that I like. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not trying to tell people what to do or do that. That's just me. Camping's fun. All campgrounds are different. Some are better than others. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like boondock camping, with no power and electricity. And that's the one thing that camper was nice for. It had an Onan generator, had 34 gallons of fresh water, it had its own bathroom in there, but we never used it. We used one of those chemical ones that I hauled with. And then at Cabela's, we bought a pop-up like shower type stall. Where we would put it in there and we would just go outside to do our business, which was nice. And, but I know a lot of people who have campers, they don't mind. It was just easier. We always had a lot of people in there. And then one thing, we had an outside, water supply. So, you're hooked up to shore water, right? Or even if you're boondocking, you got that 34 gallons. We had a propane water heater. I'd put up that tent and take a shower outside on a hot day, even, 85, 90 degrees. If you're out there in that shower, it always felt pretty good. Have that little breeze come in there under at your feet. And I don't know, maybe too much information, but yeah, that was one of the things I kind of looked forward to when we were out there. Not just showering, but it felt pretty good to get clean when you're out there, especially when you're riding around on ATVs getting covered in dust. Boy, did we get covered in dust. Says my wheelchair outside wheels to out. Wait, hold on. I think Dave says he can switch to outside wheels. The wheel's only 23 inches. And a half inches. I think that's the diameter. From front to back, it's only 36 inches, and I can move around in pretty tight spaces. There you go. Hey, Tim, what's going on, bud? Thanks for coming in. We're just talking shit, random stuff. I'm going to go fishing tonight. Whether I might go live after Catfish Weekly. I think I'm just going to do a little fishing tonight. So I was going to go today during the day for the people just coming in, the whole 8 people watching. I was going to go fishing today. I got the boat all set up, ready to go. And then I'm thinking, well, do I really want to chase channel cats or do I want to go after some flathead while, flathead season is here? So I think we're going to do that. That's what I'm thinking. That's just me. A lot of lives on YouTube are dying. So, I mean, probably because everybody wants 5,000 people in their live channels. There is let me look at this online here a second. Let me see. Is Tim Yeah. Oh, Denise will make Denise a mod too before I change here. Add as moderator. Save. David's a mod. There you go, Denise. There's a channel that just came up. I thought, what is it? Skipper Al? Hold on a second. Let me see what it is. He's live now. He started going live like 2 weeks ago. This guy's a fisherman out of switch account. Catfish and Crappie. Go to my subscriptions. Come on, loading. Skipper Al. He's got 114 people watching. He had like 500 earlier when I came on. He was live, and he's fishing for black cod off the shore, offshore by. He's on the East Coast. He's not up in Alaska. Just north of Seattle, whatever that big Canadian city is. And he had like 20 people watching like a week and a half ago. Now I've seen up to like 500. So that's kind of cool. If you guys want to check him out later, I don't know if you guys like those big lives. So I'm going to switch back to my other account so I can do what I got to do. If people come in here, hold on. I'll read chat here in a second once I get flipped back over. Boom. Okay, we're good. We're logged in again. Looks like Tim got his package from Dave. That's awesome. People saying hello. You're welcome. And look at that. Go Dogs. I don't even watch football. I should probably start. Denise says, I don't like big lives. Hard to keep up. Yeah. And some of them big lives, I don't really talk. But I'll watch what's going on. There's a reason they get big because a lot of times they're interesting. I mean, he's just hauling pots of cod at the time. I started watching his videos. He was a shrimp fisherman and he would take his boats up into Alaska and do some shrimp fishing in the fjords up there, and that was kind of cool. He just started doing lives. And I mean, a lot of these channels are doing lives that, did pretty good making videos, and lives are a heck of a lot easier than making videos. So they're starting to do lives. Even this one guy that fishes in Wisconsin. I think his name is, The Art of Fishing. This guy, younger guy who lives up near Mendota. He's out there fishing all the time. He started doing lives. I don't see any videos from him anymore. But he gets 20 people in his lives, 25 people in his lives. So it's not like it's
get burned out. I know I did.
Yeah,
doing 5 days a week, I got burnt out. It was just too much. Maybe it'd be different if it was in the afternoons, but 5 o'clock in the morning every day was a little too much.
And sometimes it's not even that it's too much. Sometimes it's people get bored of things that get real easy. 100%. Yeah. You do something like that and you get a workflow in place and you're pushing out content every week, and sometimes it's repetitive. Going back to my thing that you have to learn to be able to share things that you think people already know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People get upset with that.
Yeah, it'd be different if my show was kind of had an organized, and ran along a certain line or whatever. Mine's just sitting around BSing with people.
Hey, it's just being part of the community. That's all you were doing, which is good too. There's a place for everything in here. Tim says, "Oh wait, I'm on Mark's live. Go Ducks!" Why does everybody, that Eric? I'm gonna freaking whoop him or something. He's the one that came up with, "Ever see the underside of a duck?" I think, what you pervert. For some reason, he just kept doing it. So we give each other duck grief. Hoggy's laughing at it.
Morning, dog. Oh man, yeah. Changed mom's doctor's appointment. They called wanting to know if she could come in either earlier today or on another day. So I'm talking online.
Oh, okay, honey. Right. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me.
No, you're fine.
Hi, Mama Buggy.
Sometimes the doctor's office people, man, I understand. They're understaffed and they get real busy. I understand that because you see the phone rings when you're in there, but man, you got to be a little polite to people.
Don't get me started on the medical business.
Believe me, people don't understand. The VA is awesome compared to what I see out here in the world. The mom and them go through, to hell with that. The VA people are awesome.
I heard, Sean Ryan, I've been listening to some of his podcasts. I can, it's not the greatest podcast out there, but he has some pretty interesting guests, and he has a lot of like Navy SEALs on there because he was a SEAL. And they were talking about the VA and how horrible it was, 10, 15 years ago, and it's definitely gotten better. So good for you guys. You guys
awesome
deserve the best care you can get. Now, I'm going to say something here. I don't know if any of you guys use AI, whether it's Chat GBT or Grok or whatever you might use for other than images. But
into it right now.
Go in there and ask what has modern day medicine cured, and the answer you get will be earth shattering. It's ridiculous. Just keep that in mind.
They haven't cured anything. They've treated a lot of money.
They got surgery and antibiotics. That's pretty much going to be your answer.
Yeah, they're there's a lot of money in treating stuff, not no money in curing it. Just saying.
100%. I'd be happy if it was, other than, getting people addicted on painkillers, if they could ease the suffering of people, I think that's a good place to start other than medication. So
yeah, I still think, and I swear there's a cure for cancer out there. I think it's been sat on because there is no money in curing it, and there's a lot of money going to be lost when it is cured. You start from the chemo industry all the way back to the first oncologist doctor. That whole chain of people are pretty much out of business. A lot of people and a lot of money.
Yep, David. Modern medicine is meant to treat you, not to get to the root of the problems. 100%.
Yep. They don't want to cure anything.
Here, you want to hear a really messed up story? I was at the doctor, I don't know, for my yearly checkup, and I'm looking at the bill. The bill was like, $145, I think they wanted from me. No, it was $345 for my yearly checkup for my cardiologist in combination with my general doctor that likes to see me with blood work. So it was like $345 they wanted. And I'm looking at the itemized bill. They tried to charge me $52 to have a talk with me about smoking.
You're shitting me.
Nope. I called them up. I'm like, I'm not paying this.
No.
I did not ask him about that. I did not tell him about that at all. You're not going to charge me for that. That's ridiculous.
Well, they count on the fact most people don't read the bill.
Well, I read everything, so
do I. Yeah, so do I. But
that's why each of us should go on our own research and be informed of what's going on with our bodies. Yeah, be your own advocate when it comes to your own health care.
Maybe it's just the area I'm in, but my VA treatment is awesome. If they can't get me in and within 30 days, like my knee surgery and stuff, they send me out into the community to do it. I mean, it's just, I have no complaints. They call me 3 days before my appointment to remind me that I have an appointment coming up in 3 days. Every time. And I know the VA gets a lot of flack in a lot of places, but where I'm at and where I get treated, the people are awesome, and the care they give me is above what's typically out there, except for my primary care provider lady, my regular doctor. I don't even know why you have a regular doctor. You go to the regular doctor now, what's he do? Well, I'm going to have to send you to a specialist. Well, I knew that. I blew my knee out and I knew I was going to have to go to ortho. Why do I got to come to you first and then get an appointment with the ortho people?
My doctor's great. Dr. Emmons, he's a great doctor. Me and him, the one time I died in the hospital from an infection, he's the guy that was there that kind of brought me back. So I started seeing him as my general practitioner. Good dude. He doesn't have anything to do with the billing. That's the hospital that did that. But all I do is I'll be like, hey, I think it's time to get this knee replaced. And that's contacting him through what's called My Chart, which is run by Epic up here in Madison that do all that. But a side note. And boom, gave me the referral. That's it. Never had to go into his office. Yeah. If I'm not feeling well or something, when if I needed something, boom, all I got to do is contact him. I wouldn't have to go in there. He'd give me whatever the heck I want because he knows I'm not going to abuse whatever.
Mom does that. Her doctor for antibiotics and crap like that. She just calls him.
I was thinking about that the other day because I haven't taken antibiotics. I can't remember the last time I took antibiotics. I pretty much kind of just try to get over everything myself. Even when last time I went to the doctor was when I broke my rib.
Ooh.
And they told me to take Tylenol. The only reason I went to not my doctor, I went to the urgent care center, and I ended up paying like $200 for them to tell me that, yeah, your rib's broken, take some Tylenol. I'm like, you're out of your mind, you idiots. I'm not doing this again. David says, I have now lost 45 pounds on my own, and not what I was told to eat. Absolutely no sugar or anything that turns into sugar. Yeah, no carbs, no sugar, definitely.
Morning, Curtis. Yeah, I still need to eliminate the sugar out of my life.
I lost 15 pounds by not eating breakfast, just fasting until noon every day. Try not to eat before I go to bed, which is probably harder than anything.
Yeah.
Like here, I got black coffee here. I allow myself this and water in the morning. But I still want to lose like another 30 pounds to get down to my quote unquote fighting weight.
Yeah.
We'll get there. A lot of people Chad's doing good. Greenwell's doing good.
Yeah. I need to lose some weight. I know it. And I believe the old-fashioned way of exercise.
My doctor asked me if I wanted to take that Manjaro because, I'm diabetic. So he could easily get me to do that to help me, not just get my blood sugar back down, but to lose some weight. And I was looking into that and Ozempic, and I've read like so many bad things.
Yeah, I've seen some bad stuff about it too.
I'm hopefully people that are on it. I know there's some people probably that we know that are on it, but
I know a bunch of people that do it.
Hopefully it doesn't do any bad things to them, man. The shit I was reading is pretty scary.
Yeah, I've read some bad things too, but then like you said, I know people who are on it and they're fine, so I don't know. My cousin used it for 2 months and lost what she wanted to and then quit.
I know some people that had some trouble with it without getting into details. So
yeah,
some nasty stuff happened to them. The problem is you lose all that weight and you can't reverse what it does to your hormones and even though you're not on it, you quit eating, you don't get the nutrition that you need, and your bones start to suffer and your body starts to suffer. And I don't know.
A protein drink every morning. Every morning.
But that's what my wife has. She has
because I don't eat well.
Yeah, she has that stuff you get at Costco, Premier protein drinks. She has one of those every day. Dave says 2 cups of black coffee in the morning and water the rest of the day. Yeah, I have a bad Diet Coke issue. I need to stop.
Mine's pop. If I quit drinking pop, hell, I'd lose 50 pounds in a month.
Oh, congratulations, Hogleg. He now drinks unsweetened tea with lemon. That's a big thing for him, going from super sweet,
Yeah, that's like changing religions down south, man. They don't mess with their tea. They take tea serious down there now, I'm telling you.
Dave says, I want to lose 35 more pounds. I'll be at 180. Well, good luck with that. You can do it. That's a problem. That's probably why I got as big as I did. I'd lost a ton of weight. I'm not going to get into all that, but I think I drank most of my calories. So constantly drinking regular Pepsi, regular Mountain Dew, regular Coke. It's stuff's horrible for you. Diet Coke's all right in moderation. I'm not a big, big on the whole. The artificial sweeteners do da 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 da. If you have one Diet Coke a day, they ain't gonna do nothing to you. If you have 5 or 6 or more than that, I know people who drink a lot of pop. That's when it becomes a problem. Anything too much of is bad, like alcohol and drugs too. If you have a drink on the weekends and you're not binge drinking or drinking every day, or I almost dropped the F-bomb there.
All things in moderation. Yeah, you're right.
In moderation.
I just, if I would get away, I don't drink water at all unless I'm taking medicine. That's my problem. If I would just substitute one thing of pop for Red Bull, I'd lose weight. And I can't drink the diet stuff. I've tried and I just cannot get used to that aftertaste. I've tried many times. I just can't do it, man. It just is. I just can't. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about that taste that I can't do. And that,
David
I've tried that for years, trying to switch, to Diet Mountain Dew. And someone suggested Diet Dr. Pepper and said that it tastes good and you don't taste it. And I tried that. I just can't do it, man.
I can't, people love Dr. Pepper. I cannot stand the stuff, to be honest with you. I am not a fan whatsoever.
Yeah, my dirt bike racing buddy, that's what he always drank.
Yeah. David says it's not, and it's hard to lose weight sitting in a wheelchair. I'm not using that as an excuse. Look for taking as long as it just takes longer. Yeah, it does take longer. If you can't, you can't walk or run or whatever. If you can't exercise half your body, it's got to be hard.
Yep. I'm just lazy. That's my problem. I ain't gonna lie. At least I'll admit it.
Oh, Brian's live.
The only reason I haven't lost any weight.
Oh, Brian B's live fishing. We might have to end this.
No way, really?
Yeah, let me see if he's live.
Let me see if I got a notice on that. Yeah.
I gotta switch I'm logged in as this user, so let me log in. I see Rise Up. Good morning. I don't see Brian B live. Post that link.
Yeah, I don't see it neither.
Brian is on what? Oh, he's on. Oh, never mind. I think he meant Brian is on.
Okay.
Lost his fishing skills.
And he lost his fishing skills.
I was going to get excited and say, "Oh, I got fishing to watch. I can sit back and turn this off." So, it's 8. What time is it here? It is 8:16 here, Buggy.
It's 9:15 here.
My wife is still here. I better you know what? Talk to the people in chat. Let me ask her real quick what's going on. Hopefully she's not if she's feeling horrible, I'm going to have to end this, but I want to see what's going on. I'm always talking about Ozempic. I didn't know Brian was on it, whether he is or not, who knows? None of my business. So hold on, Buggy, would you?
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Yep, I'm going to go fishing. One pole, lawn chair, and the simple do it easy and just go sit around. And if I catch a fish, cool. If I don't, I'm going to sit and chill. I need to chill for a while. I'm going to go over at Blue River, and I'm just going to take one pole because it's about a probably 200 or 300 yard walk from the parking lot to where I fish at. And I just don't want to haul all my stuff over there. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to go and park, and I'm just going to take the one rod with me and my lawn chair and the little tackle box and my bait. And that's about it. And see what happens. My cousin, they changed my mom's appointment. My cousin's gonna take her Thursday. Cool. Oh, because this is our last day of it being kind of cool. It's gonna be 80 today, I think they said. So I gotta go today. Otherwise, the heat's coming back, and fat people like me don't go out and fish in the heat during the daytime. Yeah, 79 is going to be the high. That's it. Okay. And so if I don't go today, let's see, starting tomorrow, 83, then 85, 85, 87, 87, 85. Yeah, tomorrow maybe a little bit too, but yep. It was 61 degrees in this house this morning when I got up. The window air conditioner got left on accidentally. Like, oops. I need to get my catfish bait and set it down and let it start thawing now that I think about it. Might not be a bad idea. Dun, 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 dun. Here he comes to save the day.
All right, I'm back. She's fine. She's just working from home today.
It's going to rain all day there?
No, she just wants to work from home today. She doesn't feel like going in and dealing with the knuckleheads that work for her.
That's cool. Hey,
That's
man,
not
it's
what
awesome
she
to
said.
have
That's
that
almost-
ability to do that.
Yeah, when you're the boss, you got all sorts of, you got very little perks and all the problems.
Exactly.
Oh,
You always got to put out the fires from the petty stuff. So-and-so
Mike
parked in my
says,
spot today. That's my parking spot. It's always been my parking spot. No, it ain't. There ain't nobody's parking spots here. Just park.
it's crazy. I don't even want to get into it, and I
The other
shouldn't.
parking spot's like what, 7 feet over, you know what I mean? And they argue about park. They used to do that at my company, at the cable company when I worked there. The women would always be arguing about parking spots. She knows that's my parking spot. She just does that on purpose. It's like, man, it's 7 feet over to the next one. It's not that big a deal.
Look at that. I didn't notice Mike's new avatar. It looks pretty good. He says it's supposed to be storming here later in the afternoon. Buggy says looks like rain. Not Buggy, I'm sorry. Hogleg says it looks like it's going to rain all day.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm going to get ready to load my stuff up here in a little bit before it gets too hot.
Yeah, I'll give this 11 minutes. We'll end it at 8:30.
No worries.
I just needed something to do this morning. Figure I'd go live.
Now there's a podcast I want to listen to on the way over there today.
Hey, there's my buddy Richard. What's going on, my friend? He says,
no, we're almost done. You can turn TV on.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. What do you need?
Richard, I know Danny was going to go live with you yesterday, and I was on my computer, and it never showed up in my subscriptions. I was like, I wonder what happened. And then finally at the end of your stream, when I like reloaded or clicked off of another video, you guys showed up. That's why I showed up there at the end. I meant to be there earlier. I want to see how you guys were doing. Good to see you out there fishing again. Yeah, I just started this up. I was going to go fish this morning, but talked myself into going flathead fishing tonight. Lisa's still watching. Lisa, hope Aaron's doing all right.
Oh, and on the way back, bring some washer bombs.
Okay, yeah, good call. You have to text me and remind me.
Oh, and also, I got to give you a call maybe later this week. Okay. You mentioned you were feeling better. I didn't realize you were sick, man. We'll talk on the phone. Oh, he's at therapy? Oh, man, what I wouldn't do to get some video of that, Lisa. We can, if there's any way you can make that happen. And then again, no, don't do that. It's the last thing I want is a wife to rat on her husband. But it would be kind of interesting to hear. All right, David, have a good doctor's appointment, bud. We're going to end this at 8:30 my time. So we're about done.
This phone doesn't ever ring. I get on here and it rings. You kidding me?
Lisa says, can you imagine? I told her that we want to see some video of Aaron at therapy. Then again, I'm trying not to do that kind of stuff, at least on the channels or up and whatever.
This is a suck lottery ticket. I've been buying these scratch off lottery tickets of the bingo, and it takes forever to scratch it off. And I do one a day.
I got my, look at this. I got my, and I'm not turning the numbers around. I got my $410 million Powerball ticket.
Oh, cool. You need a yard boy when that happens. You call me. I'll come work.
If I won that sucker, ain't nobody will know. Sorry, Buggy.
That's all right. I'll just know you disappear, and I'll hire someone to track you down and get my money.
All right. So I had this talk with my wife how to do this. Obviously, before you even tell anybody you won, whether the lottery commission or family or whatever, what you do is you go see a lawyer, have them set up a trust, have them put all that money in a trust, accept the money, do whatever you got to do, and then after that, change your name and disappear.
I was gonna say I disappear for sure. Go on, guys. Get outside. And you're right. What I would get a burner phone buy me a motorhome, and I'm like you, I'd disappear for the first year, and only certain people would have that phone number, because otherwise, people you ain't seen in 50 years are gonna be, hey man, remember me? We used to do better. Nah, dude, I don't remember you. Where were you at when I was hungry and broke?
You know, it would be problematic to say the least, because how could you? I don't know. I have like maybe two people that I would, consider trustable, as far as not just wanting money out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like I know who my friends are, and like the guy who's helped me out since I came back here to help with Dad. You know what I mean? That helped us out with this place to live and stuff. You think that guy's ever going to see another day to work in his life? No way. His kids.
You know what I would do? I was telling my wife, you know what I do? We'd get a house in Wisconsin, halfway between Madison and Milwaukee, so I can fish the big lake, and we could fish, the chain up in Madison, and then all of North Wisconsin in the summer I'd have access to, and then I'd buy a house somewhere warm for the winter, become snowbirds. I'd get a big boat that I'd keep in a slip on Lake Michigan for salmon fishing. That would be so cool.
Yep.
Keep the boat I got now and just fished my life away.
Me too. I was going to say anywhere I had to move, I'd have to be able. And the more I've learned about this river fishing and with boats and stuff, I'm pretty sure I'd move somewhere in the country in Tennessee that I was like 15 or 20-minute drive from the Tennessee River somewhere that there's a marina that I could have my boat at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine in thought, but remember, if you got a boat set up like that, and I'm talking about if you got a lot of money, right? You're going to load it up with whatever electronics you want to use, right? At least I would. I'd have a problem leaving those electronics on a boat, leaving, all of my fishing gear on a boat, because those marinas, there's crime there too. People steal.
Oh yeah, no, I would never leave my stuff anywhere. No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, no.
And it wouldn't be the money to replace that stuff, because that wouldn't be a problem if you had $410 million. Not that it would equal that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well,
but it's the trouble of going through of replacing or having to reset up whatever they messed up, or if they cause damage. All it does is interfere. So that would be a problem. If there was a marina that was behind locked gates or something, then maybe I'd have to have a lift. And
things like the fishing pole that J Dog gave me for my birthday. Things like that. There's no way I would leave that anywhere that someone could steal it. It's not worth anything. You know what I mean? Money wise, it's not worth anything, but it means something to me because someone gave it to me. Stuff like that. I would never leave anywhere. They're being carried with me to where I fish, back into the car, back to the house, always.
Hogleg says, I can be very rude. Hoggy, I have a saying, I am nice until I'm not. Just is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, have a good one. He's headed to the hospital for therapy. He says, I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah, I'm with you. And the best thing about getting old is you realize that you don't have to be fake and funny. You can be an asshole if you want to be. And as long as you're willing to face the consequences of what you do, by all means.
Yeah.
But I don't have to kiss nobody's ass. And if I don't like you, I don't have to associate with you any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. You don't need to interact with people you don't like. That's a lot easier than going to battle with them, to be honest. So that's my outlook as I'm getting older.
Is like when you're in school and stuff, you don't have no choice. You got to be around people that you may not like or whatever, or if you work somewhere. But in my situation, I don't have to, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do, or be around anyone I don't want to be around.
Look at this, Curtis. Curtis is saying, J-Dog, never heard of her.
Yeah, she's a pretty nice lady. She can't fish worth a lick, but she's real giving with her fishing poles. She hooked me up.
J-Dog and Curtis, probably sisters.
Yeah, I'd say they're probably pretty close.
Mark, you would have to buy. Misty says, Mark, you would have to buy Lyle a nice bass boat for him to do what he likes doing best.
Come on, get up here. Let's go.
Now I'm going to say something controversial.
Come on, get in here.
And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for it.
Oh, hold on.
But if I'm bait fishing and I catch a bass, I don't complain. They're fun to catch. I'll even use them for bait once in a while. But if I'm not catching, the bluegill I need, and I'm only getting bass, that's when I'll cuss them out. If I get a smallmouth on a river, I'm usually pretty excited because they're the cool bass. But anyways, I dislike white bass more than I do largemouth bass. How about that? There's controversial. Look at this. Curtis says, Mark, you want to go, bro?
He won't take my 1v1. Are you kidding me?
I'll take no, it'll be 1 versus 2. I'll take on the sisters. Curtis.
I counted that too. I didn't get no bites.
3 sisters, Eric, Curtis, and J Dog.
3 sisters.
I'm surprised I didn't get a text yet. He might be watching, he might not. Who knows with J Dog? I don't even know if he's subbed to this channel.
I haven't talked to him in it's probably been a week or so, maybe, if that. I don't know.
J Dog's good people. He just likes to talk a lot.
Yeah.
So he gets a lot of credit.
I'd build him a new house if I won the lottery like that.
You know, Missy said the bass boat comment from Missy. You know, I'm thinking, I don't know. It depends on where I lived and where I fished. Not that I'd get a bass boat, but I'd get something with a big front deck like that. That'd be great. Fish side by side, like with my wife or somebody for crappie. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. And, you know, even I think Sea Arc has one. I forget what it's called. Flex, maybe. The one that, what's his name? The guy with the white goatee from Duck Dynasty. He promotes them, and they gave him one of them. That's a pretty cool bonus for crappie fishing goes.
Got a fiberglass hull, but it's kind of shaped like a pontoon, and it's got a real wide deck in the front with 2 seats on it.
That would be pretty cool.
I think it's got an inboard out motor.
You know, I had an IO in my Bayliner way back in the day, and I don't think I'd ever have another IO. I have no interest in them.
Me neither. No.
Unless of course it was a big old diesel motor on my Lake Michigan Lotto boat.
Yeah, that's different. That's different though, yeah.
Something with a 12-foot beam, handle those big old waves.
Yeah.
Man, I love that big water fishing. I wish Lake Michigan had more walleye down there this way.
You gotta know what you're doing. You get on that lake, go, because it'll get angry quick.
Hey, the only way those guys had to learn somehow, the guys that are on there, you'll learn too.
Well, you just gotta watch the buoys, man. You know, and you're smart enough to look up and say, "Hey, the wind's coming from the north." If you're on the south end of the lake, there's a good chance within an hour you're going to start seeing some waves.
I'm telling you, the one time we were out there, 3 and 4 foot rollers in a 17 boat, that was no joke. But that Lund, my buddy Jerry Hohausen's Lund handled it just fine. That guy's like a mountain goat too. He's a bunch of years older than me. And he's in great shape. I know he works out every day, but he worked in construction, you know, and them construction guys, they swinging a hammer and walking on rafters gives you 2 things, strength and balance. Them guys have it until the day they die. So,
well, no, when I was surfing, I've been there and watched that lake go from about 2 foot waves to 6 foot waves in 2 hours. And
hey, my buddy Jay
Dog, and a half later, it was going back down again. But if you're called out there for a long time, you're in a lot of trouble. I couldn't imagine 3 foot rollers on a 16 foot, 17 foot boat. I couldn't imagine it.
I got some breaking news. J Dog is officially a grandpa. J Dog, I'm guessing, is that a girl? Is that a pink hat? That little baby is pretty dark cute. Thank goodness that baby don't look like J Dog.
No,
congratulations, buddy. That makes me happy. Family's everything. I wish mine was bigger.
I agree too. How precious. Yeah, how precious.
God bless her. God bless you and your family.
Doesn't look like J Dog. Yeah, I got the picture too.
All right. I'm gonna text him back.
Yeah, that's cool.
Says her name is Violet. That's a pretty name. I like that.
No kidding. My dad's boss, his wife's name was Violet. She was such a nice lady, man, when I was a kid.
You know, I was talking to my wife about it. We don't have kids, unfortunately. I've said that numbers of times. And if we could, you know, if it was possible, God willing, I really would like a family where I had like 5 children. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, Curtis, he is my buddy. You're my buddy too. And I usually don't have girls as friends, but I'll make an exception for you, Curtis.
Well, we love you when you're asleep. You just don't sleep enough.
Oh. Curtis has hopped up. All right, we're at 3. We're at 8:33. Forgot to do. Look at that. He's rolling his eyes. Keep rolling your eyes.
All right, man. I appreciate you doing live.
Yeah, I just figured I'd do one. It's Monday, so thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate. Oh, look at us. We're up to 17 people watching now. I appreciate you guys coming in. I might go live tonight. I might not. I don't know. We'll see when I get out there. I do have a live setup. It's just unlisted. Maybe I'll go live for a little. We'll see how much company I need. I'll use you guys to keep me company, as horrible as that sounds, or maybe entertain you. But at the earliest, it would be after Catfish Weekly. I definitely don't want to step on my buddy Lyle's toes. Chad and Josh, I'd step all over them, but that's another story. If Chad is watching, what's up, Chad? Tell D I said hello. Anyways, all right. Thanks for coming up, Buggy.
No worries, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me hang out.
Yeah, everybody text J-Dog, message J-Dog, tell him congratulations. That's a blessing, so I'm excited for him. All right, everybody, have a great day. God bless. Go out and go fishing. Oh, there's Josh. Look at him. Josh is like... See, I knew one of them is in there. He's rolling his eyes too. Later, guys. Have a great day. Watch Catfish Weekly tonight, 7:00 Central Standard Time on the Catfish Weekly YouTube channel. And don't forget Panfish Nation every Wednesday at 7:00 Central Time. Me and Lyle have a good time on that show. I love that show. We have a good time. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.